Thank you for tuning in to the Teacher Dudes. Whether you're listening as a podcast or joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, this is a podcast created by teachers for teachers that's full of some random thoughts, ed tech, tips, and tricks, and a general focus on education today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as your hosts Tyler Keefe and Jeff Anderson take it away. Well, hello. Happy Friday, April 30th. Tomorrow is May 1st, and we are excited. We don't have Jeff with us tonight. We have Mark Pendleton stepping in as Jeff is out on a social occasion, and we'll get a little bit more into that here in a bit. But let's just take a second and welcome everybody who is joining us. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it, and we are glad that you are here even during the second and third rounds of the NFL draft. And with us, as always, is me. But first, we'll talk about our other guest, Mark. So, Mark, why don't you introduce yourself first this week?
Oh, wow. That's an honor.
It is an honor.
Well, my name is Mark Pendleton, and I am a teacher and Pasco, Washington, and I've been friends with Tyler Keefe here for, I don't know, it's probably 20-some years now.
Many moons.
Mm-hmm.
Many moons. And I am Tyler Keefe. I am a technology integration coach up here in Nampa, Idaho. This is my first year doing that, but 14th year overall in education. And this is episode 16 of the Teacher Dudes, which Mark has titled The Ornithomimid.
The Ornithomimid.
Which is a mythical creature, but we'll get into that here in a second.
Not a mythical creature.
Oh, it is mythical. It's very mythical. But before that, we already have a message from one of our fans here, and they want to say hi. So here we go.
Oh my gosh, it is my own mother.
It is saying hi, Marky.
Hello, my mother. How are you?
That's great. And Mark, it is April 30th. Anything exciting happening up there in Pasco, Washington on this last day of April?
Let's see here. No, not really. I mean, just plugging along, going through, trying to finish off the school year as strong as possible.
That's right. You know, we're getting there. We got a month left.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so before we get too far into this, we have another guest joining us, and he is with us live tonight for our Game Time with Zane. So we're going to go ahead and get right to it. So let's bring the man of mystery. I shouldn't say man of mystery because he's really a boy of mystery, but he is kind of the man child. So Zane, welcome to the Teachers Dudes. How are you tonight, Zane? Good. Did you do anything fun today?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I rode the bike.
You rode your bike?
Yeah.
Anything else fun?
Oh yeah, we went trailing.
We went trailing. What is trailing?
Going on a trail.
Can you elaborate a little bit more? What did we take on the trail?
Oh, a Jeep.
Did we take the Gladiator out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also went up a hill that we should never go down.
It's true, although it was the same hill that we went down.
Wait, what?
Or are you talking the little hill?
I'm talking about the one that when we went up, we found out it was 24 degrees.
Oh, yes. That was a smaller hill where things got a little dicey.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to work on Zane's dialogue here, going back and forth. But that's okay. So Zane, we have a game tonight, and what's this game called?
Fact or fiction?
All right, we are playing fact or fiction. So I will put the first question up, and then you get to ask it of us, and ask who you think gets to answer it first. Okay, are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Fact or fiction? There are 15,823 Lego sets as of January 2020. And I want Mark to go first.
Well, let me see if I count them correctly here. There's the castle, and then there's the other castle, and then there's the other castle,
And then there's that other castle.
and then there's the spaceship, and the other spaceship,
Those ones are classics.
and then
And then the brick.
yeah.
And then the
You know
other
what?
brick.
I am going to say false or fiction.
Okay.
I believe there is 15,822 Lego sets as of January 2020.
Ooh, and for me, I'm going to say that is complete fiction. So Zane, is it fact or fiction?
It is a fiction, and there are of January 2020, there were 15,824 Lego sets.
Oh man,
I was
Mark, you were
off by 2. I was off by 2.
Zane was tricking us there. What a goofball.
You know what? I was going to go one below or one above, and I chose the wrong way.
Man, that was tricky. Where'd you come up with that one, Zane? Just
Google.
Came up with it?
Google.
The Google.
The Google?
The Google.
Ah, yes, the Google. All right, here is question 2. Zane, are you ready to read it?
Yes.
Here we go.
Fact or fiction? Super Mario Sunshine came out in 2003. And this time I want my dad to go first.
Ooh, well, this one, I am going to say that this one is false, only because I remember when the GameCube came out and Super Mario Sunshine was on the GameCube, and I believe that was in 2004. So I am also going to say fiction. Mark?
When I think about Super Mario, I just think of the original Super Mario.
Oh, God. No, what's happening? Gosh.
I will say, I'm going to say true this time.
Okay, and what is it, Zane? Is it fact or fiction?
Okay, Dad, what year did you think it was in? 2004?
I thought it was 2004.
Okay. So, Dad is correct. Mark is not correct.
Oh.
But Dad was not correct in one way. It actually came out in 2002.
Oh, so a year off the other way. Okay. Well, so far we are 0 for 2. Is that right? 0 for 2?
Well, I think no, the first one we
0 for
both got
2.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
0 for
true.
2.
That's true.
Although I was 2 Lego sets off.
Yes, but we're 1 and 1 here.
Yeah.
And here is question 3. Go ahead, Zane.
Fact or fiction? There are 47 Super Mario games that I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if this was from like 2019 or something, but as of when Google said it, number 1 pick, there are 47 Mario games. Fact or fiction? Oh. What? Whatever.
Who do you want to answer this one?
Dad. No, Mark.
I need some clarification here. Is this specific Super Mario games, or is games that Super Mario makes cameos in?
I'm talking I'm not talking things like, well, I don't know if, I'm talking main story Mario games.
Main story Mario.
So would that mean that Mario Party does not count?
Or Mario
No,
Kart?
but things like Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Odyssey, yes, the OG Super Mario Kart, those kind of things.
OG.
But no
The
other
OG.
Mario Karts, but only the OG.
So Mario Kart Double Dash does not count?
No. Because
Mario
you
Kart
can't,
8 Deluxe?
because Super Mario Kart is technically it's kind of like levels, all the Grand Prix are kind of levels. You're racing and trying to get levels.
I think he's making up the rules as he goes, Mark.
Yeah. What about Super Mario Goes to Las Vegas?
I saw this YouTube video that said all.
Well, we don't know what happened in that one because we all know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
But that could be where
Mario
Peach
goes
met
missing.
Bowser.
That's true. That's how things.
But Mario Goes
things
Missing
happen.
is an actual game.
And Mario Teaches Typing is as well. So Mark, what do you think here? Fact or fiction?
Yeah. But Mario Goes Missing is really weird.
He's had two fictions, so I'm gonna go fact this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say fact, even though I think the rules of this particular question are a little finicky and unfair. So I'm gonna say fact as well. Zane, what is the answer? Is it fact or fiction?
Fact.
There we go. We knew it. We knew it. But hey, Zane, we have a bonus question this time for you.
Yes.
So, Mark, I will let you read this one.
All right. Fact or fiction? Porcupines can float.
This is probably one of those dumb questions. It's yes and no, depending on if it's pregnant.
What?
So Zane,
depending if the porcupine's pregnant or not, they can float.
Do all animals that are pregnant float? I want to know this.
Yeah.
I want to try this. Experiment out. We need to find an animal that's pregnant and throw it in the water. See if it floats.
Wait.
It's more fat when it's pregnant, so
we might get PETA called on us though.
We might. So the fatter you are, the better you can float.
Ooh, there we go. So Zane, what do you think? Fact or fiction on porcupines?
Again, it depends if it's pregnant.
So only when it's pregnant.
Because if I was really fat, then I would be able to float with ease.
So let's say the porcupine is not pregnant.
I don't know. But if this bird was pregnant.
Where does he get a bird?
Pulling random animals out of his pocket.
He is. So Mark, what is the answer? Is it fact or fiction?
The answer.
Fiction. No, it's fact.
The answer is fact. Only when they're pregnant. You got it.
Oh man.
Yes.
Would you look at that?
Dumb questions.
I didn't know he was going to catch that one.
Yeah, I don't know. But Zane, thank you for joining us, and go enjoy some more Animal Crossing time.
Yeah. Animal Crossing New Horizons is the best game of 2021.
And Zane gets the POG, the player of the game, as he calls it.
No, the playing of the game.
The play of the game. Yeah.
is what it stands. Wait, can I pull up Google on here? Can I
No,
share
you
my screen
cannot.
and bring up Google?
Nope, you are unable to.
How
But
do I pull up Google on
next
here?
time we can figure something out for that. How does that sound, Zane?
Sure.
right.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will talk to you later, Zane.
Bye, Zane.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
All right. That is one crazy kid who's had one too many Mountain Dews tonight. What was the real answer for your porcupine?
It was fact. It can float.
Even if it's pregnant or not?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean,
I would assume so. I
don't know where he came up with that. Is this a dumb question? Like, that's
it hurt me. It hurt me a little bit when you first said that. That's hurt.
The thing that we have learned with Zane is he just kind of does his own thing.
Yeah.
And there's not many words that can describe what goes on with that kid.
That's all right. That's what my parents said about me too.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you do have a cougar hat on.
Yep.
And it yeah. Although is that a more cowbell shirt that I see?
Oh yeah, that's a more cowbell.
Is that did you have a fever today?
I had a fever.
Ooh, and what was the cure?
More cow. I had a fever for more cowbell or whatever. I can't even do it right.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So Mark, I got to tell you, today was the fourth month in a row that I finished going to the gym.
Oh yeah,
day 120.
That's cool.
It was crazy.
Are you getting buffified in your legs and arms and everything?
Oh, and I did pull this at the gym too.
Oh, Brandy!
But then
Brandy, he has it off. He has it off. I don't know why I'm yelling over there. She's not even in my house.
I would hope she's not at your house. Although I haven't seen her for quite a while. So.
Oh, okay.
But it is what it is. But so Mark, all funniness aside, and everything. Today is the end of April, and you chose the name for this episode of the Ornithomimid. So can you kind of explain that to me?
Oh yeah. So I chose this name because it was kind of school related, and this is kind of a school related podcast thing. So I got to kind of take you back a little bit because when I was first entering school,
entering school meaning teaching or as
like a kindergartner.
Oh, kindergarten.
Whatever. Yeah, like I was way back there, and I was just learning to read, right? And I could not, for the life of me, sound things out. It was like phonics did not make sense to me. I could not read phonetically. And so, all my little classmates, with their sticker collections and their little tiny mullets and everything else, that's part of when we were growing up. They're all like, oh, the O makes this sound, but when it's written in this word, it makes this sound. And I'm like, why? Why does it have to make two sounds? And so, like, I think I felt like I was thrown into this special reading group when I was real little for the kids who just couldn't understand phonics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm never going to learn to read, right? So I found out that the only way I was going to learn to read is that I had to look at the whole word and memorize the whole word. And then when I saw that word, I would be able to just say the word because I knew what the word looked like. I couldn't go sound by sound throughout, right? So I guess what they call that is a whole language learner. Is that what they call that? I don't know. I'm not a reading teacher.
Yeah,
Well, I was.
I don't know.
Okay.
Whole word. Maybe somebody out there that's watching could tell us what the correct terminology is.
Yeah. So that's how I had to grow up learning to read. Is I had to just memorize his words. Well, the problem with that idea is that every time I came across a new word, like I couldn't sound it out, you know. And so I had to have people like tell me the word and repeat it a couple of times, and I had to say it a couple of times, and I had to look at it, and I had to study it, and then I would get it, right? And then so I go throughout all school, you know, doing this, and then I get up into teaching, and in my first few years of teaching, I'm just like, I need a job, so I'm going to get into wherever. And so I took these jobs, and I was a reading teacher.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. And I was like, how? I'm not even qualified for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, oh no, it's real simple, it's real easy. Here's this book, this scripted book that you just have to follow, and it's just all about phonics, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this. So yeah, so I'm going through this book here, and I am trying to teach these kids, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. I know these are, you know, middle school kids. I can do whole word sight reading. Okay. So I can do this. I could teach those. Well, we're going through these. All the words are pretty simple for me. And then we come across the word ornithomimid.
Ooh.
And I've never seen the word in my life. And so here I am in front of, you know, this whole class, 20 plus students. And I'm like, how do I say that? And then I start, you know, sweating a little bit because I'm like, I have no clue what I'm doing here right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids are just staring me down. And I think they were starting to realize that something was definitely wrong here. So I go and I pull out the old teacher trick, you know. Hey guys, this is a pretty big word. I bet one of you guys knows what it is. Let's see who can come up with the word first.
Oh, good trick.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to get this. And they're like, no, we don't know it. And so here I have to go, and I had to admit to my students, yeah, I know this is like middle school reading program, but I can't read a word. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it in my life. So I went over to I had to go Google it. And then luckily they had a pronunciation thing on it. And then I pronounced it. And then I found out how to say it. And then I figured out what it was. It's like a dinosaur.
Oh, now
Yeah.
Was it like a dinosaur? It
is a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur with like feathery features to it. So I think the ornitho part, I think that's typically when you see ornitho or ornith, that's referring to a bird. But this is like a bird dinosaur, not like the pterodactyl. This is a different one. It's like a raptor, but it had like feathers on it.
Now, what a raptor with feathers, does it? I'm going to look it up here. But does it resemble, like, is it one of those that's kind of still around today, kind of like the gator or turtle or?
No, I think it. I don't know. You got to look it up. I've looked up a couple pictures. Now, of course, this is what they think it is.
Right.
They don't actually know for sure, but
are we sure they don't know though?
Well, I don't know. I guess they this is why they think that it had feathers, because they think that they must have found feathers around one of the fossils or something on it.
Oh, that's true. That is true. So I am getting the image up. So I'm going to get it saved and up here. And it looks kind of interesting. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of looks like my cat. So this is what the Google came up with.
That's what the Google. Yeah. I see.
I don't know how to describe this.
I don't know. But, ever since I found out that, I'm just like, I wish I had an ornithomimid,
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to ride an ornithomimid, you put a saddle on that thing. Yeah, that one's looked pretty. That's another picture of what they think it is.
I mean, this one looks majestic.
It is. It looks majestic.
Oh, Sue Laws is here, and she is laughing at us now.
So if I had an ornithomimid, I would definitely ride it. And that's all I know. It's just because I didn't know what it was. Then I found out what it was. And then now I'm like obsessed with them.
Well, you just get a saddle on and ride over to Sue Laws's house.
Oh, yeah. And I like to call, sometimes I'll tell my students, oh, man, you're an ornithomimid. And then I'll just walk away.
Now, if I remember correctly, because we've talked about ornithomimids for years upon years, the
absolutely.
two of us.
Yeah.
And I had a dream once. I don't know if you remember this dream.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a dream that you and I were in a movie. We're producing a movie, and it was called When Ornithomimids Attack. And I don't remember anything else about the movie other than ornithomimids and you and I just running away from them to save our lives.
They are fierce, vicious creatures.
Well, I mean, just look at this guy.
And yeah, I wouldn't want to face that thing either. I want to ride it. But I don't want to go face to face with it,
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to have a giant muzzle on it if I was going to ride it, because it's a majestic creature. So I don't know. I just thought it was I just feel like sometimes we do that a lot. We get into these situations with our students and we have no clue what we're doing, and they could tell, and then you have to play it off like you know what you're doing, and then sometimes they call you out on it.
That reminds me of my first year teaching when I'm teaching math, and keep in mind, this is 5th grade math. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So it's not supposed to be anything too complex. And, I remember college professor teaching us the math methods. And I believe you had him at Central Washington as well, but Dr. Sawyer, he loved his Dr. Pepper, I believe it was. And cool guy, Keith Sawyer, I believe.
I don't know. That was a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was. He was a short, pudgy guy with glasses. Really funny dude. But he's showing us all these ways to do division and stuff for the Common Core and all of that. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out this division stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, just divide it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first year teaching there, and this is, 5th grade. We're supposed to be doing what's called partial quotients.
Yeah.
And, I know how to divide, do long division. And I'm sitting there and like my brain, it's still just sticking with me today. I'm at the board and I'm supposed to do this partial quotients. And I look at it. I look at the teacher guide. I look at the board. I look at the teacher guide. And I remember turning around to the class and saying, I have no clue what I'm supposed to be doing right now. and I just remember this one kid, her name is Michaela. No clue what she's doing today. But, I thought she was trying to be a smart aleck. She goes, oh, Mr. Keefe doesn't know how to do it. I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. I have no clue how to do this. And so I go, hey, if you know how to do it, come up here and do it. And so she went up and did it. And she got the answer right. But I still looked at her. I'm like, I have no clue what you just did. And, the rest of the class is looking at me like I'm an idiot. And I'm looking back at them like I have no clue what I'm doing. And I just said, and this is when I had the realization with math, especially with Common Core, is there are multiple different ways to do different problems. And as long as you get the answer right, I really don't care how you did it. I'm going to be honest. And, unless you just use a calculator, I don't care how you did it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get that because sometimes we grew up learning one way to do it.
Right.
And I understand some of the reasoning behind it, but I thought, I'm okay with most of the, the math stuff, and because I teach it, but so I also teach science, and so every once in a while I get these like, a lot of times they're autistic kids, but they're brilliant kids,
Mm-hmm.
And so they come up to me and they want to talk to me, and they start talking about quantum physics and string theory. And I'm just like, and then I'm like trying to say a bunch of things that are kind of related to it that I've read before. But like, I have no clue what they're talking about, but I gotta like, yeah, oh yeah, And they're like, well, have you, what do you think of this? I'm like, I'm not sure.
And then you just got to play it off. Like, I'm going to have to chew on that nugget for a little bit.
Yeah. Let me think about that one.
Yeah. That's honestly a lot of what you said is kind of like what Zane does with some of his things. He'll come up with some randomness. And I'm just like, okay, dude. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And, he's 7 and doing that. And it's mind blowing. And, he's coming to my school now.
Yeah.
And, he's pulling things out of the hat. And it's just like, dude, what? No, huh? And so he's starting to stumble the other teachers. So I'm glad it's not just me.
That's all right. I get the same way when my teenage daughters all start talking really fast and about random things, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on right now. I see I think I hear words, but yeah, I don't understand.
Oh yeah. And speaking of teenagers, normally we have Jeff with us, and he is not with us tonight, as we all notice. And those of you that are watching online, we appreciate you. Sue, Joyce, thank you for joining us. And those of you listening on the podcast later on, join us next time. When we post it live, you can follow me on the Twitter at Keefe67, or follow the Teacher Dudes on Twitter, and we'll post when we go live, and even Facebook too. But Jeff is not with us because he is on a date.
Ooh.
And he was acting kind of like a teenager. That's where that segue came in, because I sent him a message. I'm like, hey Jeff, what you doing Friday night? And he goes, oh, believe it or not, I have a date. I'm like, okay, no, really, what are you doing Friday night? and I'm going through the messages here, and he goes, actually, I have a confirmed date. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I go, sweet. About what time? He said about 6 o'clock. I'm like, oh, that's kind of early.
Does he need to be chaperoned?
That's what I was thinking. And I told him, I go, hey, I'll send you the link to join us, and we can check in on your date, see how it's going. Because, Mark and I, we have a great track record of giving people a test to see if they're worthy of our friends.
Well, I kind of, think of myself as kind of a love guru, I mean, I did run Brandy through a lot of questions, right?
You did.
I had her fill out a questionnaire. I don't know what was it, but it was rather lengthy.
It was, and she had some good answers. You had some good questions, and I think at the very end, I believe it was, are you alive and breathing? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And when she said yes, you're like, okay, you passed.
When she did the yes, check the box, I said, yeah, that was really the only one that mattered.
Well, yeah, and I just got a text here, from her. Let me take a look. And she says, love guru, question with the laughing crying emoji face. So I don't know what she's talking about, because that's
I'm pretty sure if you need to know about the ladies, I think I got it covered.
Well, it's true. It is true. And for her to question your worthiness of the love guru, I don't know, that kind of just hits me in an odd way.
Did I not approve her? Did I not put my stamp of approval on her for you?
You did. And
and then she's gonna doubt my guru-ness.
Right. And this was before. I believe this was before. Now, granted, that might have been after, because you have done this to quite a few people, but this might have been before you ever showed her your belly button.
Oh, yeah, probably. That probably, if I find that if you could walk around, if your friend can walk around and with their shirt off and just bearing belly button and all, and she doesn't run from that, I think that's a good sign. I think it is
true. It is true.
I mean, if people get scared, I mean, if they could stick around and not run off when I'm around without a shirt, then that's a keeper.
Oh, without a doubt. And I remember many years ago too, when you first showed Zane the ways of the belly button. And I think the first time he met you, obviously you met him when he was a baby and all that.
Yeah.
But when he could actually talk, one of the first things he said to you was, will you show me your belly button? And, he still holds on to that as just ingrained in his soul of what manly men do.
Well, it's a manly belly button. It's a manly button. I mean, it's large enough. I mean, that you could probably fit a quarter in it. I mean, It's a big belly button. It collects a massive amount of lint every single day. I mean, I've thought about just collecting it and then like knitting something out of it. I don't know, but
I mean, could you sell it?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, but I know I can make a nice pair of socks out of it.
Brand just found out Brandy's watching us now. She feels like we got a bit off track.
What? Oh,
That just kind of happens with this. But let's get us back on track, Mark. And I'm going to show you a picture here.
Going back.
And the family and I, we watched this last night, and we were watching a video, and this came across. And let's see if you remember this. This is just going to be a screenshot.
Ooh. Yes. That was a screenshot of Napoleon Goes to Men's Retreat at the church.
Yes, it was.
I made a cameo in it.
Not just one.
Yeah, I was in a couple scenes there. Yep, there I was again. A young, hip and happening. There I am again with Napoleon there. Yeah.
We were
some of my best acting.
Oh, it was fantastic. We were watching that, and I just remember making it, filming it, editing it, directing it, doing all that fun stuff, and we just having a blast. Like, this is the dumbest thing on earth, but it was a blast to do.
Oh yeah.
And that was so long ago. And this kind of hurts because Brandy just says this was our family entertainment last night, and we need a hobby. But that was Academy Award winning gold. I
thought there was some Oscar performances in there, and I really don't quite understand why it it didn't quite make it into the theaters. I mean, it went straight to VHS at that time.
Well, no, it was DVD. It wasn't even VHS.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I did put the link on here. So if anybody wants to go and watch Napoleon Goes to Men's Retreat, which at the very end of the video, there was a line in here, and it's an amazing line, and she'll see this. We know she will, because she's watching us right now. But that whole video was dedicated to one Sue Laws. Did you know that?
I think if there is, who else would you dedicate it to?
Well, it's true. I mean, if you look right here, it's that very last line. As I'm trying to get there we go. We got the inspiration from Debbie Swiss Chard.
Yep.
And it was dedicated to Sue Laws.
Wow.
I mean, that's right there. It's a screenshot straight from the video.
Sue, I just want to let you know that you've been in our hearts for a very long time.
And her lasagna has been in our bellies for a very long time.
Yes. I love the lasagna.
It is so good.
So good.
But back to what you were saying about the Ornithomimid.
Yeah.
And your thoughts behind it, because I think that is actually a really good point about how teachers often, when they don't know something or whatever, they'll just literally pull something out of thin air and make things a lot worse. And I think it's okay for a teacher to say, you know what, I don't know.
Yeah, it is true. I've gotten over that idea. Like when I was first teaching, I had to be smarter than all the kids. But now I realize that, a lot of these kids know a lot more than I do on certain things,
Right.
They know a whole lot more technology than I do. Maybe not you, but definitely me.
Oh, there's some things that I don't know that kids pull out. I'm like, holy, what is that? Okay.
So I try to be honest when I screw something up. Like, so I even had, like, I just this week I had that issue. It wasn't a screw up, but we were looking at acceleration, and I was totally forgot I was trying to remember why acceleration was measured in meters or meters per second squared, and I was like, why is that? And so I told the kids, I'll figure it out, and then I'll let you know. And so I did the research, and I figured, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's changing in meters, changing so many meters per second every second, and so that's the squared idea. And so it's still stuff today that you got to learn and you come across, and if you don't know it, it's okay now to tell the kids that you don't know it, but show them that you're willing to learn just along with them, and so that they can see that learning does not stop when you are out of school. It's
and the one thing my late grandpa told me, he goes, you need to make sure you're learning every day. Every single day you need to make sure you're learning. And the last time that I got to see him, he was still telling me the things that he was learning. Granted, it was sports related, because that's what we always talked about, was sports and, Huskies, Seahawks, all that stuff. And he kept telling me all these different things that he was learning. And, that still stuck with me of, we've got to keep learning, because if we stop, then what? What's the point? If you're not learning something new every day, then it's almost like you're telling your brain like, I'm done with you. So, it's huge. It's good to see kids, or it's good for the kids to see that you're learning too. And, with what you're saying about, you were learning about acceleration. Was that right?
Yeah. I mean, I already knew what acceleration was. I just couldn't remember for the life of me why we squared the seconds when we put our units at the end. And then it came to me once I started looking it up. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So
I'm going to pull the dad joke out here. Since we've been talking about the Ornithomimid, and for velociraptors, we all know that it's really the Disaraptor over the Time Raptor equals the Velociraptor. So, those of you listening, later, you can go to the YouTube and see this, but it's the Disaraptor over Time Raptor equals Velociraptor.
That's right.
So that goes to the whole velocity is, distance over time.
Yeah.
But, it's true though. If we don't understand a small part of something, it's okay to look it up. And I remember, sitting in class looking stuff up at that time with the kids, and some of the kids could find the answer before I could.
You know where I find my answers half the time?
Siri?
No.
Oh.
YouTube.
The YouTube.
Yep. The YouTube.
Well, let's think about this. I mean, in all reality, if you need to go fix your washing machine, what are you going to do?
I did it. I did it with my dishwasher. My dishwasher would, brand new dishwasher. Within a few months, it started acting out. I wasn't washing, and so I just YouTubed all these things, and then I figured it out. And I figured I had to tear a couple things out, and I found what the problem was, fixed it, got it back running again. It's amazing how much you can learn just by looking at the YouTube. I helped install my dad's overhead garage door thing, looking at the YouTube. It's kids these days, I think we focus so much on kids learning content and knowledge and stuff, which is still important, but sometimes we just got to teach them how to access information and accurate information.
Yeah, and Brandy's saying there, perfect, Mark, you can come fix our washing machine, because we've been having fits. And I've been looking at the YouTube to try to find the fix. And
look on that model.
there's nothing in there for the model we have.
No.
So I mean, it works after a few hits with the sledgehammer and a few choice words afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But we get it going. But yeah, it's funny that pretty much anything we need to find is on the YouTube, except for when we actually need something right then. It's kind of like the old thing we say when you and I would walk into Best Buy, that we would count how many times we get greeted and asked if we need any help, and then when we actually needed help because we couldn't find what we need, there was no employee to be found.
Yeah, standing around.
I think our high score was eight times we got welcome to the store within 5 minutes.
It's a little creepy.
It really is if you think about
creepy.
it.
It's a little creepy.
But yeah. But Mark, I have enjoyed this time as usual speaking with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we spoke about it on one of the other episodes or just afterwards, but there's something that you and I started many moons ago that we need to resurrect.
Oh yeah.
And since this is the Teacher Dudes podcast, although the ladies are welcome, we just haven't got any on here yet to join us. No, that's not true, because we did have Janet Avery join us a few months ago for the Idaho Ed Chat stuff. But you and I, we started something many years ago called the Man Weekend.
The Man Weekend.
And I think, no, you know what? I know it is time that we resurrect the Man Weekend. And I know you've had a couple without me since I've moved down here.
Yeah.
But it's had a couple years hiatus, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a couple years since I've done the Man Weekend, even without you or with a couple of other guys here. So it's definitely something that we need to resurrect, because during Man Weekend, we get to be men.
It's true.
And as much as I love the ladies, or at least I love one lady, my wife, and my mom,
yes.
and Joyce Fountain, I love you. You got to have a little bit of man time. The testosterone needs to flow.
And speaking of flowing, the Rainier beer needs to flow like water. And the nice lukewarm steaks that probably should be refrigerated never were.
Yeah.
Which may or may not lead to food poisoning and someone ending up in the ER.
Yeah, that was not a smart move. Probably should not have eaten steaks and drank Rainier beer the whole weekend.
So go ahead, tell everybody the quick and dirty version of what we're referring to there.
Oh,
where we were and what happened.
Me and Tyler here decided to go on a man weekend, go out camping, doing manly things, and we went to Costco beforehand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, well, what are we gonna eat? And I'm like, well, what do men eat? We eat meat. And so literally we just went over to the steak section and bought like this huge pack of steaks.
They were the New York strips too.
Oh,
they were good.
They were good. But we grabbed this huge pack of steaks, and then we grabbed some Rainier beer. I don't know if we got it at Costco, but then we're like, I don't know if we brought anything else.
I don't think we did.
I think that might have been what we brought the whole weekend. And we decided we were going to marinate those things, so we put them in Ziplocs and put them in some different marination, and we put them in our cooler and everything else. Well,
The cooler full of steak and reindeer.
reindeer and steak, yeah. So you go in and you start camping out in the woods, doing man things, and they're like, oh, it's dinner time, and it's lunchtime, and it's breakfast time.
The first night we were at where, Mount Rainier?
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're just eating these steaks every single meal. Brought no water whatsoever. Nothing to hydrate yourself. Nothing but steaks. And I don't think the steaks were getting cool enough. I don't know, but yeah. So it ended up being that I woke up in the middle of the night, I think on our second night or whatever it was, and I was puking forever and ever and ever and ever. And Tyler had to take me into the ER here to because I wouldn't stop puking. It was amazing.
Yeah, we went. It was we were at Mount St. Helens at that point, and I had to drive you down to Vancouver,
Yeah.
Washington, down to their ER.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, it was funny because they gave me some strong medication or something. But then like Tyler goes back to the campground to pick up our stuff, right? All by himself, and while I'm still in the ER, right? And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna release you," and I'm like totally out of it, right? I don't even know where I'm at because I had this strong medication, and they're not even waiting for him to come pick me up. They're just like, you're gone. So I'm like, all right. So I walk out. I'm like staggering a little bit. And I'm like, I think I called you and I say, hey, I'm out or whatever. And then I'm like still staggering. And so then, because I have this strong medication.
And I find you at some random park blocks away from the hospital.
There's this park across the street from the hospital that I just laid down in the park and fell asleep in the park. And Tyler found me asleep in the park.
And the best part is we made it to the Mariner game that night.
Oh, yeah. It was a good game, too. I remember.
It was.
It was. I was still on a lot of medication in that game, too.
I'm pretty sure I had a couple more reindeers at the game.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I had any. I think I had.
I don't think you did.
I think I had just water for the most part. But yeah, I was definitely out of it. But yeah, so Man Weekend, there's memories. There's memories.
Many memories, and more memories to be had.
Yes.
It'd be fun to get me, you, get Jeff, and then some of our other Washingtonian friends together, meet somewhere in the middle, maybe go to Wallowa Lake.
Ooh.
Which I think, did you guys do that one year? Or was it just we were talking about it and then it kind of fell through?
I think the last one we went to, was it Rife Lake we went to? I can't remember, but yeah, that's where you weren't part of that, but I brought the camper that time, so that wasn't as bad. I didn't, at least if I throw up, I wasn't throwing up out in the middle of the woods.
Hopefully Bigfoot wasn't going to attack you.
Yeah. But yeah, we did that, and there's a lot of fun there.
Yes, a lot of fun to be had, and if and when we get that together, we'll have to record a couple episodes, for sure.
Yes.
Doubt we'll have cell phone range to be able to do anything live.
No,
but at least we can drop some nuggets of truth and inspiration around the campfire between all of us there.
Definitely.
Who knows what will happen and what kind of amazing inspirationalness we'll come up with.
Yeah.
But Mark, tell me one thing you're looking forward to this upcoming week before we close it out.
This upcoming week. Well, let's see here. I believe it's Mother's Day next weekend, right?
Uh-oh,
Is
I
that
have
right?
no clue.
I only know this because my own mother let me know.
I'm going to look this up because if that's the case, right here, it's Sunday, May 9th.
So that'd be not this weekend, but next weekend.
So at least it's not in 2 days. We have we have 2 Sundays.
Yeah, so you could run over to the cemetery and pick up some flowers for Brandy on the way.
Yes. Well, luckily she doesn't like flowers. She thinks they're a waste of money. So if I didn't spend anything on them, there we go.
Yeah. So I'm going to spend the weekend with the 2 mothers of my life that I'm close to, which is my own mother, and I am going to spend it with my lovely wife Heather, my mother of my children, and we're going to celebrate that motherhood.
Nice. And I'll be spending Mother's Day with my wife, Brandy, who would probably be saying, go ahead and do whatever you want without her, because she'll enjoy her nice quietness around the house. So I'll take Zane up to go jeeping again. But no, actually, and then my own mother, the mythical creature that she is, Susan Keefe, who I haven't seen in person in quite a long time because of stupid COVID. Yeah, we'll have to figure something out for that. And I was thinking right as I was saying that we need to get my dad on one of these episodes. And see, Brandy agrees. True. Granted, I'm sure she was referring to me taking Zane and going to do stuff so she can hang out alone for Mother's Day because she would enjoy the nice and quiet. But, we could get my dad on here, and I think that would be a blast because he, too, is a teacher.
He is. He's a teacher of Espanol, right?
Yes. Well, now he's since retired, and he's subbing.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, it's been a couple of years, and he actually, I think he loves that more than when he was in the class full time. So it's one thing, that if we can get him on here, I'm sure he's got some great. Actually, I know he's got some great stories to tell.
Oh yes,
and it would be a blast. But the one or the 2 things I'm looking forward to, other than Mother's Day. On Tuesday, it's May the 4th, and that's always a great holiday. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
And then the next day, though, Cinco de Mayo, which falls on May 5th this year. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
So I am excited. But anyway, Mark.
Oh, go ahead. Tacos?
I was thinking about it, but I might go for a nice hamburger or hot.
You got to get tacos.
Yeah, but I don't know. Or at least enchiladas. Which Brandy did make some quality enchiladas tonight.
Enchiladas are amazing.
They really were, and she remembered the cheese this time.
That's important.
Yes, and that's a story for another time. But anyway, Mark, I am going to let you get going. Thank you all for listening and hanging with us tonight over this hour. It's been fun as always, and I cannot wait for our next episode here in a couple of weeks. And until then, we will talk to you later. If you'd like to join us live and interact in future shows, or to be a guest on the show, be sure to follow Tyler Keefe on Twitter @Keefe67 and like the Teacher Dudes on Facebook. If you haven't already subscribed to the Teacher Dudes, hit that subscribe button on whichever platform you're listening to, and be sure to also leave us a rating.